Hello YouTube! We have all heard those sad stories about our friends, colleagues or some other people staying in a toxic relationship for many long and tedious months, if not even years. Perhaps you even have such an experience yourself, and when it happens you just keep coming up with excuses for your partner no matter what they do or say. However, upon hesitating to end such a relationship, you will eventually nullify your own feelings, interests and ultimately even your personality in general, losing yourself in the end. So why does it happen this way and how can you possibly prevent it from going too far? In this video, we will tell you about 6 most common misconceptions you should avoid having in order to prevent it. Let's go! And reason number 1. Your partner has apologized. We often deem our main goal in a conflict is getting an apology, and we typically consider it a genuine repentance of some sort. The person might ask for your forgiveness, promise you to never do it again, and so on. But in truth, it hardly matters a damn thing if they repeat it over and over again, right? Despite seeming upset for hurting you, despite the apology seeming to be sincere, do not forget about the conflict too soon. If you love your partner, naturally you would try to focus on their best qualities and ignore the worst. It usually forces you to believe and trust the person whatever they tell you, and give them one more chance over and over again. If you notice this pattern repeating in your relationship, maybe it's just the time for you to think about making some change. And here comes reason number 2. You've been through so much together. You've likely put a lot of effort into this relationship and you've been doing it for a very long time. Fighting for your partner, comforting them no matter what, letting whatever bad things they did slide, and so on. This could very well be the reason why you're not too fond of the idea of cutting the ties with this person, even if they bring you nothing but headache and mental suffering. Of course, you don't want all of your hard work to end up being in vain, it's completely understandable. You're just not going to leave for as long as there is at least a phantom hope of changing something and building up a healthy relationship, right? You are ready to sacrifice a lot for this change. The question you should ask yourself is, should you really? You need to find your own answer as genuine as possible, because if you sacrifice your mental health for the sake of your relationship, perhaps this relationship doesn't really fulfill its purpose, does it? Another possible reason is that you blame yourself for your partner's actions. Sometimes when you find their behavior just completely inadequate and you don't understand why they're being this way, it might mean they're actually trying to manipulate you. The goal of this manipulation is to cause you to feel like you just can't blame them for yelling at you or starting an argument seemingly for no reason whatsoever. Upon analyzing what happened though, you will definitely find the reason behind such behavior, and it will likely seem like you are the one at fault. Either you didn't pay enough attention to your partner or gave them a reason to feel jealous, or dozens of other reasons why you can be treated this way. Perhaps you even deem yourself an unattractive and uninteresting person, and you're just sure that your chances to start another relationship are really poor. Well, you must believe in yourself, because if one person has actually found you attractive enough, it's extremely unlikely that they are so unique to be the only one in the entire world who might like you. And this destructive relationship only helps your self-esteem to keep falling lower and lower. Stop it. The 4th reason is that you just don't want to acknowledge that something has changed in your partner. Yes, you don't like it how they treat you recently, but hey, you're still ready to overlook that. Why? Simply because you still continue viewing this person the same way you did in the very beginning when you just met, as a good, kind, cute and caring one. And you just hope that all these are temporary difficulties, that your partner will once again become the same person you once fell in love with. Well, people do change as they grow older and get more experience, and it goes for you as well, by the way. Perhaps your partner is just not quite the same person anymore, so you should ask yourself, do you really love this new one? Or maybe you have even changed yourself without noticing, and maybe you're just clinging to the happy memories, too afraid to let go of the past. Number 5. You are lying to yourself. For one, when you're trying to convince yourself that everything's fine and normal, or when you use your partner's traumatic experience from a previous relationship as an excuse for whatever crap they do, or simply telling them something they want to hear from you just so that no conflict would happen. In any case, all of it loses its meaning when it comes to the manipulations coming from your partner. It doesn't really matter how kind and nice they once were and how soft and loving they are outside of an argument. If you feel manipulated, if you feel like arguments don't change anything, and you feel like there is no visible progress and mutual understanding, perhaps you should just leave. And the final reason is that you might think that something bad could happen to your partner if you leave them. Usually when we have or at least had some feelings for a person, we definitely can't be indifferent if they tell us they can't live without us or something like that, especially if they also say they might do something terrible, such as committing suicide if you break up. Well, make no mistake, you being worried in this case is perfectly natural, it makes you a good person. However, You shouldn't put up with a daily torture just because of such a classic manipulation. And it most likely is in fact nothing but a manipulation, as they are trying to exploit the remainder of your feelings for them in order to keep you around. But even if you do have a sound reason to think they might be serious about that, you can always try to help your ex adapt to the change. In a severe situation, it is wise to get some external help, for example from a professional therapist. It is perfectly fine to attempt to make a breakup as harmless as possible. After all, it's not like your partner just instantly becomes completely irrelevant to you, even if you're sure that your ways need to part from now on. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like and click the subscribe button to get more content like this. But most importantly, stay red-pilled.